Hello everybody and welcome back to the Backyard Baseball League and your Mighty Fishes. On the back half of this doubleheader today, your Mighty Fishes up against the Little Melonheads. A solid 7-0 victory in Game 1. Put your Fishes in a good spot to lead here today. The 9-3 Fish now have a 2-game lead in the league ahead of these Melonheads specifically, who are tied for 5th, 4 games back at 5-7. Let's go ahead and play ball. Leading off the catcher for the Melons, Vic Souffle, went 0 for 3 in the last game against these Fish, as ground ball to the left side, picked up by Weber at third, over to Jocinda Smith there. We'll get the ground out. And one pitch, one out. A good start for Kenny Kawaguchi, who had one hell of a game on the mound, only allowing a couple of hits. Now Nate Kowalski coming up now, the shortstop. 277 hitter on the year for him. A ground out and a fly out last game as he fouls off strike one there. The 0-1 from Kenny. Pitch number 3 is hit high in the air to straightaway center. Pete Wheeler in, unable to make the play. The throw to first gets him in time. And that one's going to be tough to figure out what to call that one. Ground out of sorts, I would say. Great play by Pete Wheeler there to get him out there. Up now, Heather Quinn, batting third today, the right fielder for this team. Heather Quinn, 11 hits on only 2 strikeouts, so one of the more efficient hitters on this team as she bats .314. Heather Quinn in her 2 at-bats last game, a ground out and a base hit, so a 500 day for her, up that average a little bit as she swings through strike 2. And now Quinn with an 0-2 count. The pitch in here is a ground ball to the right side. Kenny ranges over to it right by the mound and throws her out there. 3 straight ground outs on just a couple pitches there. Let's the Melonheads go 1, 2, 3 there in the top half of the first. That'll bring us to the bottom half, where your Mighty Fishes will take the at-bats. We'll see if they can get something going here as Pete Wheeler leads off. Same lineup as always. Pete Wheeler, Ernie Steele, and Pablo Sanchez, your first 3 to the docket today. Pete Wheeler, 571 hitter, 24 hits, and 12 stolen bases. So about every time he gets on, he's stealing a base. At least every other time. Brett Olson taking the mound here for the Melonheads as Pete Wheeler puts down a patented bunt. Happens to be right to the pitcher, though. And he gets thrown out there. Olson to that first baseman there for a ground out. Olson, not one of their normal hitters. Usually for the Melonheads, it's either Xavier or Herrera on the mound. Everybody else on the team, at least anyone else that's thrown, has only thrown a couple innings. As Steele puts a little ground ball, also right back to the pitcher for another out. 2 quick outs, a little quicker than Kenny in the top half of the first. And now Pablo Sanchez, who got his 7th home run last game and his 25th hit, as well as his 21st RBI. So Pablo has been hitting like nobody's business recently. One of 2 home runs last game. Him and Jocinda. He hits that one high and deep to center straight away. A little bit of a shift there is allowing Pablo to go into second base with a solid double. Good old 2-bagger for Pablo. His 26th hit of the year. Brings up Jocinda Smith, the other of the 2 home runs last game, as she hit hers first in the game, which opened up the scoring to a pretty good margin, as now she steps in against Olson, takes ball 1. Jocinda Smith, that was her 4th home run last game. And along with that, 15 hits and 3 doubles. As the fastball comes in and she nails that to straightaway center. That'll get down and off the wall. Pablo ranging on second, on his way to third and heading home, as Jocinda made a thought at second, but held there at first base. And that'll be an RBI base hit for Jocinda Smith, and the Fish are on the board after a quick 2 first outs. They're able to fight through and get a run in. Another 2-out RBI, which was the big kicker last game as well against the Melonheads. These Melonheads somehow struggling to get that third out in the inning. And it seems to have carried on into this game. The pitch here. Popped up left side. Ashley Weber. Third baseman range is over and will make that catch. A little flat for Ashley. Will strand her before her sister gets to bat in the inning. And a quick 2 outs there leads to 2 straight hits, which in turn leads to a run. And now Todd Xavier batting up. A real lineup switch today. He's in center field today. Real lineup switch for these Melonheads, as it's kind of jumping around from where they were yesterday, but after a 7-0 loss, I can very much understand wanting to change. Xavier, 8 hits and 3 home runs on the year for him to go with that 275 average. As I was saying last week, one of the 2 main pitchers for this team, as he was the pitcher of record last game, as he swings and misses. First strike 3, the 67th strikeout for Kenny Kawaguchi. Double K, they call him. Brings up Michiko Adachi, the 5th place hitter. Your second baseman for this team today. Adachi, a 264 hitter. She swings through strike 1, which breaks down to 9 hits and 11 Ks, which it's never a good sign when you strike out more than you hit. But she's now 0-2 now, with 1 out. The pitch in, taken just inside for a ball. And now 1-2 pitch here from Kenny is hit on a line up the middle, diving, stopped by Ernie Steele. Over to first, will get the out there. Great play by Ernie to get Adachi there. And another 2 quick outs for Kenny, as we will hit up the 6th place hitter, Sydney Chain, the 3rd baseman. Sydney Chain also 9 hits on 11 strikeouts, but more doubles and triples than the last guy. Chain went 0 for 3 yesterday with 1 strikeout and a flat and a ground out from my records. As Kenny has her 0-1, the pitch in here is swung and missed for strike 2. And now the 0-2 count with 2 down. Fastball taken high for ball 1. And now a 1-2 count. Kenny, pitch number 17 is fouled back. Longer inning here for Kenny, although still generally quick. Still a 1-2 pitch here. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout on the inning for Kenny Kawaguchi. Number 68. 2 away from 70 now. And now we hit up the bottom of the lineup for these fishes. The bottom 4. Weber, Kawaguchi, Robinson, and Del Vecchio. Sydney Weber up now, the 3rd baseman. More of a singles hitter with only a couple doubles in the game. She's on hard on a line to the left side. Picked up by the 3rd baseman. Over to first for the out. Sydney Chain with the play over there. Good grab on that line drive there. Brings up Kenny Kawaguchi. 11 hits and 3 walks on the season for him. A 379 hitter. Looking to help himself out here. The pitch comes in and he fouls that one back. A good cut, but not quite there. As Olsen looking to continue pitching low from the inning before, just through his 10th pitch of the game, with 1 out here in the 2nd. So he's having a low pitch count performance, but that really won't matter if he cannot get, well, for 1, run support, and for 2, keep the runs from coming in, as he threw ball 1 there, and now ball 2 to Kenny at 2-2 count. Kenny's 3 walks, one of 2 players to walk on the team, and the only one with more than 1, as he's at 3. As he takes ball 3 on the outside and a full count. All of a sudden, this has become a pretty long at bat for Olsen, who has not thrown a lot of pitches today. As the pitch comes into Kenny, strike 3, swinging. The first strikeout against the Melonheads this season in their 2nd game. Brings up Dante Robinson. 10 hits, all 10 of those are singles. And 1 walk.
Bring on the meat.
He is 2nd on the team in stolen bases, just behind Pete Wheeler. Pretty quick guy when he can get on. as he swings through that spitball. A little late for strike one. A 375 hitter. We'll hope to see if we can get more production out of the bottom half of the lineup today, as Kawaguchi, Robinson, and Delvecchio all went 0 for 9 combined last game. So I hope that something can come a little better for them as Robinson takes ball 2. There's a little ahead in the count. Can be a little more selective with what he's looking for here. Looking for a pitch to hit. Pitch comes in and swung through for strike 2. And now he finds himself in that 0-2 hole, or 2-2 hole rather. Pitch comes in here. Ground ball right side. And Olsen is over to make the play. A quick, easy ground out there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Olsen. A pretty easy inning for him as we make it through. And speaking of which, Olsen leading off, the 7th place hitter for these Melonheads. Not much of a hitter though, as he only has 4 hits and 13 strikeouts to go along with 5 walks. Olsen is what you would consider a 3-tool hitter, or 3-outcome hitter rather, except he's missing one of the 3, which is potentially the most important, which is the home runs. So he's now 0-2. Let's see what Kenny wants to throw here. The 0-2 pitch, slow ball in there, swing and a miss for strike 3. 14th strikeout of the year for him. And third of the game for Kenny, puts him at 69 strikeouts, 1 away from 70. As Kenny continues the process of looking for 100 by the end of the year, although I don't know if he's on pace for that. Ground ball to the right side. Picked up by Kenny, who's going to run over to first and get the out there. Felix Grant didn't get a lot. Much to talk about him. Now the first baseman, batting ninth, Tina Herrera. One of the other main pitchers, but unlike Xavier, and especially like Olsen, she can get on base. She swings through strike 1. The 0-1-2 Herrera in here. Ground ball right past Kenny. Picked up by Dante, who can still throw her out like nobody's business here. And that'll be all 3 there. And we can move on to the bottom half of the 3rd there. It'll be Tony Delvecchio leading off. Then back to the top of the lineup with Pete Wheeler and Ernie Steele after. We'll see if we can get to Pablo Sanchez, and maybe he can, if he can put a good bat on the ball, we can be in good shape for the next couple innings. Hopefully get a bigger lead here as Tony is up the pitch. Well, there's spitballing in there. I don't know the legality of that, but to be honest, Olsen probably needs it as much as the Melonheads do to do something here. As Tony hits that, a little pop up to the right side. Second baseman looks to be there, and she will make the play, and that's Michiko Adachi there. Brings up Pete Wheeler, looking for hit number 25 on the season.
What am I supposed to do again?
And I will make an assumption of what he's going to do here from up in the booth. I'm going to make a guess that he's probably going to try to bunt the ball, but he takes ball 1. I'm sure he would take a walk too. I mean, does about the same job as he was going to get from a bunt anyway, as the second pitch comes in low for ball 2. Pitch number 23 for Olsen, looking on 24 now, and a 2-0 count for Wheeler. Pitch in, taken for a strike. A little high from what I was looking at, but a called ball nonetheless, makes it 2-1. The pitch comes in here. Wheeler, bunt attempt, puts it foul. Well, continuing to get that pitch count up, puts it at a 2-2 count with 1 down. In the bottom half of the 3rd. Another bunt attempt, and foul, and that'll count for Olsen, I believe it is strikeout. An unfortunate circumstance for Pete Wheeler gives Olsen his 2nd strikeout of the game. Looking to match Kenny in that regard, as Kenny's got the 3 through 9. And now Ernie Steele up 0 for 2 today. 0 for 1 today, rather. My apologies. The ground out. So he takes ball 1 in the outside corner. Ernie Steele, 18 hits, still sitting on 9 Ks, is hopeful to not strike out to get that double digit. I wouldn't want that if I were him. He does lead the team in strikeouts, though. with 9. As he hits that one on the ground to the left side. If he was a little quicker, he might be able to run that out. Olsen tracks it down and throws it over to Herrera at first. And he will be out. And that'll end the 3rd inning for your Fish. And we will go to the 4th inning as we go back to the top of the lineup for the Melonheads. Vic Souffle leading off for them, with Kowalski and Quinn up after. 3 straight groundouts on not a lot of pitches that first inning, but they're back to see if they can do anything with that, as that's hit on a line to the left side. Bobbled by Sydney. Kenny picked up over to first, gets the out. And Kenny Kawaguchi saves Sydney Weber over there from a little bit of embarrassment, but continues to make the play and get the out there. So no harm, no foul. That's what I'll say. Kowalski up now, ground out in his first at bat. Kowalski had 8 strikeouts on the year. Would love to see number 9 here as he swings through strike 1. Kowalski, 270 hitter now. Decently defensively. Not a lot of errors on the year for him as he swings through strike 2. Kenny pitch number 28. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And what did I ask for there? And that's strikeout number 70 on the year for Kenny Kawaguchi. We'll bring up Heather Quinn, the ground out. And now Kenny only 30 away from 100. But I don't know if we're going to get there this year. Ernie Steele with the play there on the line out. Hard hit ball. But she is retired. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th with Pablo Sanchez leading us off. Only a couple hits this game, 2 that I'm counting so far for the Fish, but 2 have been enough, as a double from Sanchez and a single from Jocinda Smith to bring them in brought us our only run of the game. This game is continuing to fly, but it seems like the moment I say that, something interesting happens as he hits that one hard to right field, but right to the center fielder. Shifted perfectly, Felix Grant was, to get that out there for the first of the inning. Brings up Jocinda Smith, whose RBI single has been the difference maker in this game so far. As the first pitch comes in for her, line drive to the left side, again shifted into the perfect spot. Will get her. It's Kowalski over to Herrera for number 2. Melonheads playing heck of a defense here as Ashley Weber steps up to the plate. Out in her first at bat. The pitch in here. Oh, and that's just bombed to left. Going, just gotten out of here. Holy moly, and Ashley Weber hits a home run. Her first homer of the year. Doubles the score of the Fish and doubles their lead as we now have a 2-0 ball game. A little bit more of a cushion for Kenny Kawaguchi here. And a song we have yet to hear for this team. Ashley rounds the bases and touches home plate for the team's 2nd run. An unexpected moment there is she's not much of a power hitter, but we'll take what we can get. Now Sydney, let's see if we can get a sister back-to-back jack here. We have yet to have back-to-back home runs this year with the Fish. Oh, and the freezer ball gets strike 1. She had a good swing on that ball if it didn't take a little break before it hit the catcher's mitt behind the plate. The pitch in here, swing and a ground ball right back to Olsen. Should not be much trouble, and it is not. As a ground out there will end the inning, but not before Ashley Weber hits a booming solo shot to get the Fish a 2-0 lead. And now we go to the top of the 5th with Todd Xavier up a strikeout in his first at-bat, his 7th of the year. One more matches his hit total at 8. And I'm smelling it from Kenny. Let's see if he can get another one here. And unfortunately, no, but a ground ball to Ernie. And it looks like he actually got that right on a line there. Didn't even need to throw it. Well, that'll bring one down. And bring out Michiko Adachi, who grounded out in her first at-bat. And is 0 for 1 today. First pitch in from Kenny, swing and a miss. Strike 1. 0-1 pitch in from Kenny with one down, swing and a miss for strike 2. Kenny looking for strikeout number 5. And the pitch in, fastball, swung and missed for strike 3. And Kenny's cooking through 4 2/3 right now. And bring up Sydney Chain, who was a strikeout victim of her own in the first inning. And now 2 down. Kenny pitch 34 is bunted, foul. You commend the effort to try to get something going, but no dice yet. The 0-1 pitch, bunted, attempt again, but missed. 0-2 pitch to Chain, fastball in there, taken for a ball. Could have been the first called strike 3 of the game, but no dice. 1-2 pitch fouled off. And now, 1 strike away from the end of the 5th. Kenny with the pitch. Fastball called, strike 3. Second of the game for Chain, and the 6th of the game for Kenny. And he is cooking through 5 innings. And I'll bring up Kenny. I guess, rather than his 6 strikeouts, he has 7 on the game, counting his own. But we won't do that for him here, as he's 0 for 1 today. Looking to help himself out. See, it's that one high to left field. That might get down. Shortstop over. That'll just get down by him and go pretty much all the way up off the wall. I'll put Kenny in with a double. And the first hit in a game in almost 2 games now for the bottom half of this lineup. Gives Kenny his 12th hit and brings up Dante Robinson with no outs.
I'm ready for you.
And we'll see what Dante has for us here, with no outs and a man on second base. The pitch, strike 1, a fastball in there. And Olsen's still throwing pretty hard. Hasn't really given up much. That was only the 4th hit of the game he's given up as he throws that pitch high for a ball. Only 4 hits given up and 2 runs. But seemingly not enough for these Melonheads as they're looking to be shut out for the 2nd game in a row as the pitch comes in. Ground ball. Up the middle. And I'll just get past the pitcher and past the second baseman, and that'll be a base hit for Dante. And another single. That'll be Dante's 11th hit, his 11th single. Still only 1 walk.
Watch this one, Slick.
And now with a double play option open, you'd think a hit and run, or at least a straight steal would be on board here. Pitch comes in here from Olsen, taken high for a strike. And they're going to throw it. That catcher has one heck of an arm. As Dante really working that. And he's going to go for 2 anyway. And you know what? It worked out for him. I don't know what was going on with that Melonhead defense. But you know what? Worked out. As now it's 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out. And the pitch into Tony. Line to left field. That'll get down and roll all the way to the wall. That'll bring home Kenny. And we'll see if Dante's going to try to score. He's going to test it. And the throw home is just in time. Holy moly, that was close. What a play. What a relay from that team. Started with Grant and then came into Chain and then over to Souffle behind the plate. And that puts it a little damper on that fish head inning. But, you know, we take what we can get, as they're just going to let Tony take 2nd. And that'll be a stolen base for Tony. Good on him, his 1st of the year. Not much of a runner, but it works out in his favor. As now Pete Wheeler in a 1-0 count steps to the plate and takes ball 2. Pete Wheeler yet to walk on the year, but, you know, we'll always be looking for one if it's going to show up right in his nest, as he puts a little bunt down, and that goes just foul for strike 1. Pete Wheeler struggling to find that bunt today as he is 0 for 2 with a K. See if he can put something together here as he takes ball 3 on the outside corner. High and away. 3-1 pitch, the closest to a walk we've been all game. The pitch comes in, bunted though. And Tony thought about going to 3rd, but held, and Pete Wheeler is out again. His first 0 for 3 game of the season. couldn't really come at a worse time, at least for run scoring potential, but luckily we have Kenny on the mound, who has been on fire today. So Ernie Steele comes up with a man on second and 2 outs. Chance to make it a 4-0 ball game. Ernie Steele, the pitch in, ground ball left side. And picked up. And she's just going to hold on to it. Didn't really have a play, but we'll get a base hit there. And, oh, who else does that bring up but Pablo Sanchez? One of the best hitters we've seen just in general in this league. And definitely on the Fish. But we'll see if he can really extend this game, make it a 6-run game. The pitch in. Holy moly, did that have home run distance, so that didn't go about 30 feet foul. And Vic Souffle being brought in to pitch here. After that first swing, I can imagine why. The pitch in, and got him to pop it up. Souffle ranging back, and it can't make the play. As long as everyone can get to their bases, that'll be safe. A base hit for Pablo. His second hit of the game. And brings up none other than Jocinda Smith, the other home run champion of these Fish. Although now you might add Ashley to that after that home run earlier. But Jocinda to blow this game wide open here with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 5th. Souffle only 1 pitch in. Smith, the pitch, swinging a line drive into center field. That'll get down and go all the way to the wall. Run will score. And Ernie Steele is going to head for home. We'll see if he can get it. Jocinda Smith will look to be holding there at first. And Ernie will score a base hit for Jocinda. And she's coming alive now. And now first and third in a 5-0 game now. With Ashley Weber up. Home run today. Could be the first player, I believe, I'll have to look at this in a minute. Could be the first player on this team this year to have a multi-home run game if she can hit one out here. The pitch. Ooh, fastball. Hard fastball in for ball 2. 2-0 with 2 out and 2 on. The pitch taken outside. Ball 3. A 3-0 count. And I can see their hesitancy to throw Ashley a good pitch to hit here. The pitch comes in. And it was her pitch. She hits that one hard to right field. It's going and will get down and bounce off the wall. And we'll stop there and give her a base hit there. A good base hit from her. Let me check the data real quick while we're waiting to see if we have a multi-home run game from anybody. The only one to do that would be Pablo. As Sydney hits that one high and hard to right. That might get down, but it does not. A fly out there will end the inning there. As we continue to search through the records. And I can say with about medium certainty that we only had one other game in which we had multiple home runs, and that was Pablo Sanchez up against the White Wombats, game 6 of the year, where he had 3 home runs. That was a crushing game if I remember. Well, Pablo back on the mound against Olsen. Struck out once today, swings through strike 1. I don't want to make any crazy statements here, but Pablo on the verge of greatness here as he takes strike 2. Kenny Kawaguchi. Pitch 41. Looking for the 7th strikeout. Will hit on the ground to the left side. Kenny will pick it up, throws it over to first, and gets him there. And a ground out. We'll bring up Felix Grant, followed by Tina Herrera. And he's 2 outs away from history. Kenny Kawaguchi, can he do it? The pitch in here to Grant, taken inside for strike 1. And now 0-1. The pitch from Kenny. Swung ground ball to the right side. Picked up by Jocinda. Handed off to Kenny for some reason, but he'll get the out there. And Grant's out. And Kenny is 1 batter away from greatness. The first pitch to Herrera. Fouled back for strike one. And now only 2 pitches away. The 0-1 pitch to Herrera. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Kenny Kawaguchi. History on the line. Will you make your mark? The pitch. Fastball, ground ball, right side. Dante misses it. Jocinda picks it up. On to first, not in time. And an error there will get her over to second. Oh. And that'll be in as a base hit for Herrera, I believe. And tragedy as the perfect game is lost on the last player of the game. What a game from Kenny as he will continue on through the end of this game. Strike one to Souffle. And we feel for Kenny there. 1 strike away, just misses it. And Sydney gets the ball. Hands off to Kenny, who will make a bad throw, but will seemingly get the out anyway, as it will not matter. Dante, what happened? Oh my god, and that'll end up being a base hit, and another one.
What?
Well, that's unfortunate. And this whole game is about to fall apart here if we can't get this over with. So what could have been a real struggle, or real beautiful moment, has turned into a struggle as Kowalski steps up. Grounded a strikeout in his first 2 at-bats, now his 3rd time up. We'll take ball 1. 1-0 pitch from Kenny. Pitch number 50 is fouled back. And now 1-1. Slow ball in from Kenny here. The 1-1 pitch popped up. Dante Tony over. And makes the catch. And that'll do it here. The Melonheads are gone. Another shutout. Another high-scoring game. 13 runs scored over 2 games for the Fish. And unfortunately for Kenny, 1 out, 1 strike away from that perfect game. Just couldn't get it done, unfortunately. But a win is a win, and that'll put us at 10-3 through 13 games. Only a couple more to go, as Kenny is now upwards of over 70 strikeouts. But that'll do it. Another win and a sweep of the Melonheads for the season. Puts the Fish in great shape to take first place and take the league by storm going into the playoffs. Soon to follow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your Mighty Fishes broadcast. And I hope you come back again next week for game number 14. See you later.